Okay. Hi guys. You'll have to excuse my appearance this week, but honestly, I hope you can't blame me. For those of you that don't know what's going on, I just had surgery yesterday on my heel cords. I had them lengthened because they're short, so therefore I walk on my toes. I did just record this video, but my computer decided to be a butt and freeze in the middle of it, and honestly right now I'm feeling really self-conscious because I'm laying down and I don't like how my chin looks like this, but you know what? I really wanted to talk about this experience while I still can remember it. So yeah, here's my fall risk hospital band. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Lauren's video quick. Lauren, I just wanted to say thank you so much for your kind words about Ellis. They were very sweet, and I can just say thank you. And I'm glad that I have people who understand what's going on. And I loved your kitties playing in the background. It was really adorable. And I just wanted to say that I'm really sorry about what's happening with you lately. I won't talk about it on here because I'm sure it's personal, but I just wanted to send you my love and let you know that I'm always here for you. If you want to talk or whatever, it doesn't matter. Or if you were ever feeling up to it, if you wanted to come over, it's whatever. And she asked about tips on losing weight. And actually, I'm sorry, I don't. I'm terrible at losing weight. I don't think I've lost any weight in a long, long time. I actually gained about 2 kilograms since when I scheduled my surgery appointment and yesterday. So, sorry that I can't help you there. I mean, besides, it sounds like you're doing the right thing, but keep it up, and we'll see. I'm sorry if I don't say the right things right now, but keep it up, and perhaps you'll see a difference. So I don't have a question for this week, because I just wanted to talk about what happened to me and whatnot. So I wasn't going to talk a whole lot about my week other than yesterday and today, just because, like, everything else seems so mundane now. Just, why should I bother talking about it? Yeah, so yesterday, we were planning to go to the hospital at 11:45, but we got a call and they said that they were running early, so we could come in whenever we wanted. So we left the house at about 11:15. Got there at about, I don't know, 11:45ish. And went into the pre-op waiting room, and then they got me into a room, and then the pre-op nurse lady came in, and honestly, most everybody at Children's is great. And it's not, she wasn't terrible at all. She was just a little insensitive. That's all. I was upset because I was crying because I was worried about getting my first IV because I'd never had one, but you can see that it's just a little dot right there. It's fine. No biggie. Yeah, so she's a little insensitive, and she was saying, like, I wanted some anti-anxiety meds because my anxiety was going through the roof at that point, and she was being a little reluctant to give them to me because she's like, you can't technically have them because you're 18, and I didn't understand this, but apparently my dad asked her about it later, and the reason that they can't give it to you is because when you sign the consent form for the surgery, like, which is right before you go in for surgery, you have to be sober. You can't be on drugs. So I'm like, why can't I just sign it before I get the drugs? And that's what happened. The anesthesiologist came in and she saw that I was upset, and she's like, okay, we can get you some, just sign the consent form first. Well, she didn't say that, but, like, I just signed it first, and it was no big deal. But then my orthopedic surgeon, the guy who was doing the surgery and who I met with, came in, and he reassured me of everything. Like, the lady was saying that I might have to stay overnight, even though he had told me, and then I was getting all freaked out about having to stay overnight because that freaks me out. I didn't want to be away from my parents, really. And yeah, so he reassured me that I wasn't going to be staying overnight, and so then I felt better. I felt better after they gave me the anti-anxiety meds, and so they took me away, took me into the operating room, and they put a laughing gas mask on me, and yeah, so then they gave me the IV, and I did not have any anxiety at that point. I was relaxed and happy. Well, not happy, but I was relaxed and in a good state of mind. And they were just like, it's just going to be a little mosquito bite, and I barely felt it. And so, yeah. And then the last thing I remember is the lady, I had closed my eyes at this point, and I think the anesthesiologist kind of was like right next to my face, and she was like, you're going to drift off to sleep now. Then I woke up in the recovery room, and the recovery room is where you're just waking up after surgery, and usually you're not alone in that room. Usually there's someone else, and yes, there was someone else in my room. It was a little crying 5 or 6 year old, and normally I'm very audio sensitive, and luckily I was still kind of very drugged up. I was very drugged up yet, and so it was just kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. There's a crying kid in the corner. So yeah, and then I think they were talking to me, even though I was just waking up. They're like, how are you doing, Rachel? Like, you know, you're okay, you're fine. I was just waking up, and then I asked, I think one of the first things I said is, can I see my parents? And they're like, yeah, sure, we can get them in here. And then apparently the first thing I said to my parents is, my feet hurt. Well, duh. So yeah, and according to my dad, I sounded very drunk. So, yeah, fun times. So then I asked if we could go to my room, because at that point I was waking up a little bit more, and the kids started irritating me a little bit more. And eventually they did wheel me into my post-op room by myself. And probably the second worst thing for me about the whole experience was the feeling of going from being asleep, like not being extremely groggy. That was the worst, because like I couldn't keep my eyes closed because I was that awake, but I couldn't keep them open either because everything was so bright to me. So yeah. And then finally I woke up and I was feeling better, and I was really not in any pain, mostly because I still had my IV in, and I still had the anesthetic in and whatnot, and I can't remember now. I lost my train of thought. So yeah, then probably the worst part about the whole experience was I had to use the bathroom, and I'll put pictures in at the end just because I don't like turning and showing. I'll put pictures in at the end just because it's easier, of what my legs look like, and you'll understand why I can't move at all. I have to get help to move. Like if I needed to go to the bathroom right now, I would have to call my parents to come down here and get me. And yeah, so they had to help me onto a commode, which for those of you who don't know, because I have ran into people who don't know what it is, it's basically a little toilet seat on a walker, pretty much. So you can sit on it and they just wheel it away eventually and clean it up, which I'm getting one of those because getting into the toilet is a bit of a hassle, but you know, whatever. So I had to get on that, and I was not experienced with how to move without using my legs, and so basically I tried to put weight on it, which was a terrible idea. And so basically I kind of just slipped onto the commode, and like eventually I used the bathroom, but it's just it's not fun at all. Oh, and the weirdest part was like apparently they were like incompetent on how to put on my stupid gown, so I was like naked. That was weird. It was just really weird. I woke up and I was like naked. I mean, the gown was draped over me, but I was naked. I'm like, what the heck? So eventually I got a shirt on, but I still didn't have anything on my bottoms. So yeah, that was interesting to say the least. So eventually they taught me how to use the wheelchair and how to get in and out of bed and whatnot, and I got discharged that same day. Obviously, I'm here now. And they let me go home, and getting me into the car was quite an interesting thing, let me tell you. So yeah, then I got home, and we had to, oh, here's another thing. The company that Children's Hospital works with to get wheelchairs wouldn't accept our insurance, so we had to go through a different company, and they couldn't get one to us right away. Like, they couldn't get it to us on Wednesday, and they were supposed to bring it today, but guess what? They didn't. Apparently we weren't even on their list. I'm like, that's great. You know, it's not like I really need a wheelchair or anything like that. Whatever. But, so basically we've been using a computer chair to get me basically just pretty much to the bathroom. And that's how I got out of the car, too, is we wheeled me in, and my legs have to be kept up. So someone has to hold my legs up. Like, right now they're up, on pillows. So, yeah. So today my grandma came and visited me, which was really nice. I enjoyed that. And I didn't sleep well last night at all. I was in a lot of pain, getting used to the casts. I don't know if this has happened to anybody. I guess this could kind of be my question, but did you have, like, pain outside of your injury or whatever, getting used to the casts? Like, it felt like it was like rubbing up against, but I can tell the surgery is going to be great because, first of all, the doctor, who was a little worried about how the results were going to be, he said it went wonderfully. So, and already it feels like, normally I have my feet like this, like they're on an angle like this, and that's what they feel like they are right now, but really they're like this, which means that it did a lot. So, I'm really happy with how it's turning out. I mean, I'm not enjoying this part, but whatever. So my family, I feel so bad for my poor dad. He has a hard back, but he's the strongest of us all, so he has to get me. The problem is that the chair that I'm using and my bed are not level. The chair is much lower than my bed, so my dad has to hoist me onto my bed, and we have to get something figured out for that because he's been having to take baths because his back hurts so bad, and I feel so terrible, but I can't pretty much do anything on my own. But yeah, let's see. I'm on Percocet, which is oxycodone and acetaminophen, and it's been doing alright. I mean, like I said, last night was hard, and I really didn't get much sleep, so I slept a lot of today, and it kind of makes me sleepy. Like, I took it at 5 today, and then at like 5:40 I had to close my eyes for a bit, but then at like 6:30 I fell asleep again, and I didn't wake up till like 8:30. So, yeah. Hopefully tonight will be a bit better, but I'm kind of awake right now. So if I sound kind of like drugged up and whatnot, that would be why. And also, I don't know if you can tell, but my lips are swollen because, and my throat, I sound groggy because I had a tube down my throat. I didn't know they were going to do that, and I'm glad they didn't tell me because I would have freaked out about that. Like, I felt, after I was waking up, I felt my lips. I'm like, my lips hurt. And they're like, it was probably from the tube that was in your throat. I'm like, oh, thanks. And I guess one other thing that I briefly wanted to touch on was grieving, because I said I would follow up with that. And I actually have Ellis down here with me. She's sitting on my little, well, you guys will see. I took pictures of what my surroundings look like, and I'll put up at the end of this video. So she's with me, and I know she's with me spiritually as well. That's something that's my spiritual belief. I'm not trying to force it on anybody. That's just what I believe. But yeah, so, honestly, today it just kind of hit me, like, I really wish she could be here and be sitting. She would have loved to sit next to me on my bed and be with me, but she can't, unfortunately. So, things have been progressively getting better. I feel better, but I'm still grieving, and I know that. I try to like think about it so I don't not grieve, if that makes sense. But yeah, so I guess that's it for me this week. Like I said, I'm really sorry about my appearance. I feel like I look disgusting. I'm sorry. But today was supposed to be my shower day, but that wasn't happening, so I have to shower some other time. Yeah, so thanks for listening to my ramblings, and I'm sorry if this video was incredibly blah. Hopefully I'll see you guys next week, and I'll be able to do more. Okay. Bye, guys. Oh, and I just wanted to say thank you, everyone, so much for all your support and whatnot. It means so much to me. Okay. Thanks, guys. Bye.